Like
Shalom.
Like, oh, okay, sorry.
This is Voice of a Watchman on a. It's a little blurry, but it's all right.
No, it's all right. Hold on. Okay, Josh, can
This is Voice of a Watchman on a lovely Tuesday evening, Tuesday afternoon.
Right, Josh.
Tuesday afternoon here in Jacksonville, Florida. We do thank and praise the Most High always, Ahayah, and in His Son,
Yashayah? Yes.
His Son Yashayah, and the Holy Spirit, the Barak. We do thank all our viewers for continuing to view into us.
We can't.
And we always thank
The Most High.
all the viewers, all the people who eventually view into us and to watch and to follow this ministry on YouTube and Google Plus, Voice of a Watchman. And we
it's for donation, Josh.
we do
Offering. Go ahead, Josh.
we do thank we are receiving offerings on PayPal, and if you want to give, when you watch this video, I've left the information to donate in the description of the message tonight. This is a continuation of our Sabbath lesson because we didn't finish. We're gonna finish it tonight, and let's open with the scriptures.
Okay.
Let's go to 2 Peter 3, 1 Peter 3.
Okay. Hold on. Let me get my glasses. Do they know where to go, Josh, for the donation?
Uh-huh.
You tell them we sure appreciate it, and that we need help. Please send your donations to josh.lavio@yahoo.com. josh.lavio@yahoo.com. It'd really be appreciated. Okay. Oh, this is more comfortable. This is good.
2 Peter, 1 Peter 3:15.
Okay. Tony, you got it?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. First Peter 3:15. Okay, 1 Peter 3:15.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right.
I got it. But sanctify the Most High power in your hearts, that means your mind, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you.
So when we are approached by people, we are to give a well-detailed reason for why we believe what we believe, and not simply saying I believe because I believe is not efficient enough today. You have to be very, very intellectually detailed with people to a degree like never before. You have to convince them, even give them enough evidence, intellectually speaking, that God is that for the reason that you believe what you believe,
With meekness and fear.
So we are to be
with kitten gloves. That's right.
Meekful, meaning humble and reverent.
That's right.
Towards the person, the people that approach us. Respectful.
That's right. Having a good conscience.
Uh-huh.
That whereas they speak evil of you, as of evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation in Yashayah. Listen, for it is better if the will of Ahayah be so. So Paul also said, to treat anybody who meets you who doesn't understand with meekness, in other words, with kitten gloves, go easy on them.
Acts 17.
Okay, today I met someone in a place where I was getting my truck worked on for tomorrow morning. I made an appointment, and this brother Mike, he really, really received Acts what, 19, Josh?
17.
17, Acts 17.
Acts 17:25.
Okay. Okay, Acts 17.
And read 24.
20,
Acts 17 and 24.
24. Okay,
Read.
hold on. Okay. The Most High that made the world and all things therein.
So the Most High made the earth and all things that there people, plants, mammals, and aquatic life.
Okay, hold on.
So he made the earth and all things therein. Read.
All right. 20, hold on.
17:25.
Wait a minute.
24.
Hold on.
Seeing that he is
Okay.
the master of heaven and earth.
All right. Dwell not in temples made with hands.
So the Most High doesn't dwell in a man-made philosophy or
Come on.
in a building
That's
that
it.
people create.
That's right. Come on. Like saying, this is the Lord's house. Okay. All right. Neither is worship with men's hands,
Uh-huh.
as though he needed anything. Keep going.
So yeah, read.
Seeing he giveth to all life and breath and all things.
So we through him live and breathe and have our being. He gives us our breath, that's the spirit. So without a spirit, we cannot live. So
That's right.
without life, which is spirit, we cannot live. Without he giveth to all life and breath and all things.
Awesome.
So that means he gives us our conscience, our personhood, our morals, everything that we hold dear and we hold special is transcendent and comes from a transcendent, timeless, spaceless entity, which we call which we say is God.
Josh, hold on. A man said to me, a good brother and his wife, he said to me, are we all Jews? Are we all Hebrews? I said, no, we're not all Hebrews. Where did you get that from, brother? It's not in the word. And I showed him. Okay, watch this. And hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on the face of the earth. That means that all human life, I don't want to say human, I want to say all creation of life is made with blood and water.
Right. So now go to 1 Thessalonians 5 and 23. Then we'll go into the book, the other.
1 Thessalonians 5:23. That's okay. Let's go a little further. Get the Colossians. 1 Thessalonians 5:23. Okay, we'll wait, Mary. Whenever you have it, Tony. Okay, awesome.
verse 23.
And the very power of peace, there you have it, sanctify you wholly. In other words, full. All right? And I pray the Most High, your whole spirit and soul and body be preserved blameless unto the coming of the Mashiach Yashayah.
So we have a spirit, a soul, and a body. The spirit is the electricity that gives life, and that is also breath, spirit. We have a soul, which possesses our conscience,
Our feelings,
our personhood, our moral compass,
Mhm.
our emotions.
Right,
That's the
emotions.
soul,
That's how I
and
meant.
our body, of course, is a physical housing that
Right. That's
houses
impacted. That's right.
these things. So
Awesome.
we are a spirit with a soul that lives in a body. So anyway, we've been sharing out of this book lately, giving you very good reasons to understand the necessity of the existence of what we call God. And I will be finishing the chapter that we started.
You want me to read, Josh? You want to break down and I'll read?
I'll read.
Okay.
So again, we see
Tell them what this is about.
from
I mean,
Scripture.
a little foundation. Oh, from Saturday night.
From Scripture, we just read that we are a soul, a spirit, and a body. So we are talking about how the atheist needs a God, or needs God to make his case against him. Stealing from God by Frank Turek. Basically, the existence of God may not be able to be proven physically, but it's much easier to prove it philosophically, because philosophically nothing can work without the existence of a God, of God, or a supernatural creative being that made everything. Okay, so
Awesome.
So I'm on page 46.
So this is a continuation from last Saturday night. Thank you for the viewers. We had a bunch of viewers listening. You know, I want to say something before Josh reads. This is no way, pointing a finger at the Christian church, but there is a lot of humanism in there. There's a lot of, what do you call it? Secularism. All right. So, this can even come from there. So we have to be careful and really, really know the Bible and pray, always pray before you read.
Mm-hmm. So this
Ask for understanding. Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
atheist Dennis Den, for example, asserts that consciousness is an illusion. Our wonders. So basically, again, as we read earlier, as I finished with, was this other atheist, Mr. Crick, says that our essence, our being, and our emotions, our free will, are merely illusions. So in other words, if we basically, which is being consistent with his worldview of materialism, if we are merely materials in motion, then of course everything else is an illusion, because materials don't have feelings, will, or morals.
Not true. Not true.
So, and then Mr. Turek says to that, of course, one wonders if Mr. Dent was conscious when he said that. In other words, if he believes consciousness is an illusion, did he use his conscience to make that statement? Was he conscious when he said that? Apparently he was. So It's self-defeating to say your consciousness is illusion when you have to be conscious to speak. So, was consciousness, he claims it not only is superstitious, it's logically indefensible in order to detect an illusion. You'd have been able to see what's real, just like you need to wake up to know that the dream is only a dream. Daniel Dennett would need to wake up, which was some super consciousness, to know that the ordinary consciousness, the rest of us mortals have, is just an illusion. In other words, he'd have to be someone like God in order to know that. Dent's assertion that consciousness is an illusion is not the result of an unbiased evolution of the evidence. Instead, this is no such thing as an unbiased evolution in a materialistic world, because the laws of physics determine everything. Everyone thinks, including everything Dent thinks is just assuming the identity of materialism is true, and applying the implications to consciousness is, in doing so, he makes the same mistake we've seen many other atheists make. He is examining himself from his own theory. Therefore, Dent says consciousness is an illusion, but treats his own consciousness as not an illusion. He clearly does not think that his ideas in his book are an illusion. He acts as like he's really telling the truth about reality. So again, that says a lot, because if you believe that we are merely just materials as a secularist, atheist, or agnostic, if you believe in then anything you say or anything you believe or anything that you find out scientifically is an illusion. You can't document anything because you didn't really discover it, because it's just an illusion. I mean, it didn't really happen. You just dreamed about it. See, again, nobody can live that idea out of your consciousness being an illusion, because you depend on your reason and your logic to inform you of truth, not to inform you of an opinion, but of actual truth, right? You depend on your mind to tell you the truth, not to give you an illusion. So the real problem with the theory is that there is no evidence for it. It is also quite ironic to see the self-appointed leader of science and reason citing luck in his argument for atheism. To be fair, Dawkins actually means chance, but that's hardly better chance, and it's not a cause. It's a word used to describe mathematical possibilities to cover our ignorance, not when we really don't know what the cause is. There is no causal force are out there known as chance or luck. Dawkins certainly wouldn't expect a Christian citing chance or luck as a reason to believe in God or the resurrection. So again, that's people like evolution is a chance. If you are a scientist and you believe in evolution, you have to believe that all this is just lucky, that everything works so precisely just by luck. And I'm sorry, you can't get all this order by luck, by just rolling the dice and hoping it comes up a
tailspin,
a perfect score.
Yep.
You can't get perfect order out of an explosion of nothing. And if
how they called the Big Bang then, Justin?
And if you can, show it to me.
Yeah.
Prove it. You can't prove a theory because that is why it's called a theory. It's unprovable.
That's right.
In other words, it's not true.
It's not proven.
You can't.
It's a guess.
Yeah, you
That's all it
can't.
is.
You can't establish a fact on a guess,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how educated that guess may sound.
That's right.
It's a guess.
Oh, you're right. They'll put all kinds of big words in there, to try to stump people. Yeah.
Of course.
That's good, Josh.
There was a big difference between God and universes. We have evidence beyond design that is self-existing, spaceless, immaterial God exists, who has the power to create, but that's no evidence that other universes actually exist. And if they did, they would not need to be created anyway. So even if the multiverse hypothesis is true, atheists still are left with the problem of the first cause. So people will use this idea of a multiverse, or there's multiple worlds that we don't know of. So who created them? Now, if there were multiple universes, of course, God had to create them anyway. So that is just, of course, there's no such thing as universes or universe, because the Bible doesn't say there is one.
That's right.
So
you can listen to NASA all you want, but there's no universe.
okay.
Proven in the Word is the
In
universe.
fact, agnostic cosmologist Alexander Vilenkin, himself a proponent of the multiverse, admits that if other universes exist, the entire multiverse needs an absolute beginning. Vilenkin admitted it cannot be possible to be eternal in the past. There must be some kind of boundary linking work he had done with two other scientists. When Lincoln wrote, "It is said that an argument is what convinces reasonable men, for the proof is what it takes to convince men, and even unreasonable men, what with the proof now in place, cosmologists can no longer hide behind the possibility of a past eternal universe. Having there is no escape. They have to face the problem of a cosmic beginning. So in other words, based on the study of the heavens, or that's what cosmology is, they study the heaven, the sky. The heavens show that the earth and time had a beginning. That nothing, that the earth, the heavens show that the creation happened because everything is winding down. It's dying. Mm-hmm. If evolution were true, everything would be expanding and growing. Mm-hmm. But good. We see, if from science, this is also scientifically proven. We also know that the sun and everything is getting dimmer. Everything is decreasing.
Because the word says that the earth moans for the redemption of itself.
And it's going to wax older,
right,
and die soon.
Mm-hmm. Well, look what mankind is doing to the earth. Sticking bombs in it, sticking poles, digging holes. I mean, it's just getting old. It's wearing out.
Hold on, Dad.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Say something like that.
You might be building new buildings. You might be building new bridges. Right, Tony? But the earth is getting old. It's getting old. It's got to wear out sooner or later. The word says that he's going to make a new heaven and a new earth. He's going to change everything. I would like to believe some of these other theories that, the earth's going to be done away with and he's going to make a new earth. I've got no problem with that. Some say, that's their, that's their theory. I don't know where they get it from, that, this earth's going to be here, but he's just going to make a new system. That could be, right, Tony?
Yeah.
But the word doesn't say that. If he's going to make a new heaven and a new earth, then he has to destroy this place. And Peter said it's going to be destroyed with fire. The earth cannot be destroyed anymore with a flood. So Peter says, so what kind of people really ought we to be? Sober, right? Vigilant, because the earth is going to catch on fire and it's going to burn. And the elements. The elements, it means the air, everything, trees, sky, just going to burn up. Now, could the earth, like the ground itself, stay? Maybe. Maybe.
Okay, hold on.
It's all right, take your time. I met a man in this garage today where I'm going to get my brakes done tomorrow morning. And he was real perceptive. He really received about understanding. He was open, really good brother. And, it's just a blessing, guys, to know that when you do research, you don't get attacked. See, Christians, they want to attack you. They don't do research, but as soon as they hear truth, they get annoyed. And they want to attack instead of sitting back in their spirit for a second and say, you know what? We know what he said to me today, Josh? He says, it is more blessed to listen. And it really is. When you listen to truth and it's something that you really need to hear. I told his brother, man, you busting at the seams, brother, for truth and righteousness. Go ahead, Josh.
Okay.
Want to read, brother?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Well, I thought you had a hard time.
Atheism claims to be the champions. Atheist claims to be the champions of reason, but we've seen atheism cannot explain the origin of the laws of logic and our ability to reason. Because, and I agree, if you study evolution and the different branches, which is the materialistic worldview and natural selection, there's no explanation for why we use, or why should we trust our minds to tell us the truth, or reason, or logic. It's completely impossible from a materialistic or the natural selection view of natural selection. We evolved, and we just happen to be wiser than an ape.
Wow.
No further discovery will change the fact the category of immaterial reality is not available to the atheist, but that is what the laws of logic and our ability to reason require. These realities are well explained by the theistic God, whose very nature is rational. In the beginning was the Word. So
Go ahead, Joe.
God is reasonable. For reason and logic to be trusted, and for us to be able to think and reason, there must be a creator or a God who formed these transcendent ideas or faculties of thinking to work the way they do. They cannot work any other way. They cannot work through evolution. You cannot evolve into being logical. You have to be born or created with the faculties already existing in your mind.
That's right.
Of course, you learn how to use them through growing up, but no one evolves into being logical in the sense of it. You just by chance end up being able to think.
That's good, Judge. That's good.
Or rationality. As the opening line of John's Gospel decrees, thus when the atheist puts forth a supposed reason to deny a theistic God, they are denying the beginning that makes reason possible in the first place. We also seem that our minds and selves exist, and they cannot be explained completely materialistic in materialistic terms by scientific experiments. A former atheist, Antony Flew, put it, science cannot discover the self. The self discovers science. In other words, science cannot tell me why I am valuable as a person. Science cannot put a value on immaterial attributes of people, love, and all. They can tell you why these things happen, but they can't tell you why they are trustworthy and why they matter and why they what makes them. Why should we respect them as reality? They can only tell you these things are real. They can't tell you why. They can't give you a value to the things that make us people.
That's right. That's right, brother.
And the self is the most obvious aspect of reality because we are all aware of ourselves immediately and intuitively. You'd have to be a self to deny that. Atheists cling to materialistic ideology that reduces our consciousness experience, including reason, free will, and morality, consciousness to a mere and meaning to a mere illusion. So, again, and as we stated before, people who believe that our consciousness are illusions don't believe that don't live it out because they expect you to believe what they say. An atheist does not believe what he says does not matter, because he wants you to believe it. He wants you to believe that the earth is billions of years old. You can't even prove that because there was no people around billions of years ago.
That's right. Can we say, Tony, isn't it fair to say that we know how old the earth is?
Yeah, we can be within maybe
1,000?
maybe 15,000,
Yeah.
something like that.
So that's pretty accurate, right?
Yeah, as far as that goes.
Yeah. You know what always stuck with me, guys, too, was when the Most High said, in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
In the beginning.
See, but can we say just what beginning?
Exactly.
When did he really,
How many times did he try to?
In the atheistic
Maybe.
world,
Maybe.
where reason and consciousness and free will are illusions, you and me don't really exist. And neither do arguments. We're all blind, and so you can assert that atheism is true, but you can't really rely on arguments to support the claim. You have to accept it on blind faith. So again, and I agree with that, if God does not exist, go to Romans 1:18.
Romans 1, everybody.
And we'll close with
No,
this.
that's all right.
But anyway,
I want to read something too before we close out. I can do it Friday. Sorry.
if it is true
Romans 1.
that the Most High or God does not exist,
Go ahead. 1:18.
nothing matters. Nothing matters in reality. Morals cease to be real, or they don't cease to be real. They cease to matter. Reason becomes unreasonable. Logic is illogical.
Wow.
Everything that makes us a person disappears. And of course, if you believe that the things that make us reasonable, or reason and logic, are just mere conventions of men, then what makes men's reason reliable if it's just based on it being a convention that people came up with? Because you can't rely on people to tell you the truth all the time.
Isn't that like some kind of like contradiction, Josh? In there?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I would say so.
Okay.
Romans 1:18.
This is awesome,
Romans 1:18.
Good teaching today, brother. You know, I'm really blessed what my son brings, because, you know, there's so much of this going on. And it's sad to say it is in the church. I'm not saying there's all atheists in the church, but there's a lot of that spirit there. All right, Romans 1:18. For the wrath of the Most High is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. The people don't keep the law and don't believe, who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of the Most High is manifest in them. For the Most High hath showed it unto them. Okay. First Romans 1:18. Right? Romans 1:18. Keep going, Josh.
So read verse 19 again.
Oh, 19. Okay. I started at 18. You said started at 18. Okay, 19. Okay, right, 19. Because that which may be known of the Most High is manifest in them. It's in them. They can't deny it. For Ahayah hath showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen.
So it's clear that we have an earth that is created.
If you can't see I like to use that word, Josh. The grand architect, if you can't see his hand in this, you are totally, totally blind. Okay. Being understood by the things that are made, look at that, made, even his eternal power and power head, so that they are with excuse.
So
They are without excuse. Okay. All right. Keep going. Josh, 24?
So,
All right. Oh, 21, I mean. You want me to read that or just stop there? Boy, Sirach, man. Well, a lot of good stuff in there.
so that's,
Ecclesiastes.
so we
Oh,
understand
that's it.
that he's given us consciousness, he has given us creation, and he has given us a body. That those are three good proofs that there is a God, because none of these three things can exist without it being made.
And you really can't explain them away. You just can't.
Uh-huh.
Like you said, Josh, in the beginning of your lesson last week,
Uh-huh.
an atheist, if you say to him, an atheist, hey, someone wants to kill your son, right? Oh no, he can't do that. You know, that's murder.
What makes that wrong? And if your worldview is ultimately true, then there's nothing ultimately wrong with that. It's just your biased opinion of life.
Wow. So all of a sudden now, because it came your way on your family,
It's wrong.
it's wrong. But if my neighbor, right, it's okay for him.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's
That's relative morality. In other words,
that's right. That's right.
it's not really it's non-existent evil, because it doesn't exist. Relative morals don't exist at all, and everything ultimately becomes good.
So actually, Josh, what they're teaching is we're all a bunch of apes, and they're just a better ape than me out there, and I'm just a little better than the next one, and the other ape is a little
So
lower than
if
me.
you kill another ape, there's really nothing wrong with it.
Wow. 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 So that's really good, Josh. That's
So-
good teaching, brother. So Shalom, and we want to say tune in Friday and Saturday night. We're live. Friday night, 8:30. Saturday night around what, 7:30, man?
Yeah.
Because it's getting dark even a little later now. So we might go on 7, maybe 7:15 Saturday night. But if you miss us, just tune in.
Shalom.
Shalom.